Actually, this is the best time for you to be able to add goats to your homestead because it's actually going to be very cheap and you're able to get goats like this. Now for us here, it is rainy season. We actually have 2 seasons where you can actually buy goats at a very competitive price. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have an opportunity to share with you the things that you can do if you're expecting to have new goats on your farm. Actually, this is very important if you're going to be having new stock coming to your farm. This is the latest that we are adding to the farm. This mother goat here, which has 2 kids. Then this other one also has 2 kids, guys. Actually, this is the best time for you to be able to add goats to your homestead because it's actually going to be very cheap and you're able to get goats like this. Now for us here, it is rainy season. We actually have 2 seasons where you can actually buy goats at a very competitive price. Now, like you see, I was able to get a goat which has kids which are this old at a very competitive price. Now you're going to be finding goats like this and goats like this during one, it's going to be the rainy season because basically it's very difficult for farmers to keep their animals in check during rainy season. One, of course, the pastures are available, but there are going to be a lot of worms and diseases during rainy season. So it kind of becomes very hard for people to manage their farms. The other season is going to be around the time when people are actually taking their kids back to school. Of course, in areas where I live, people are now looking for school fees. Maybe basically they have not been able to save up some money to be able to cater for those kind of expenses. So they end up selling part of their livestock to be able to afford these school fees to be able to take their kids back to school. Of course, I am not saying that you should go ahead and exploit people that are actually having maybe a little financial problem for you to be able to get goats, but it's basically one of the best times for you to be able to get goats as big as this. Now guys, the other thing is while you're looking for these goats, you should actually know why you are actually raising goats. Now for us here, we are majorly going to be looking at a goat that is able to build up muscles and it is wide and long enough to be able to give us some good amounts of meat, because we are basically raising meat goats. Now maybe if you are looking at maybe dairy, you would be looking at a whole different breed of goat. And majorly here we do raise our local goats. Of course, we are trying to improve by crossing with hybrids. If you have a Boer goat, then you will be moving in the right direction. If you have a Savannah goat, if you have a red Kalahari goat that you are able to cross with our local goats, then you will be basically be able to benefit one from the disease resistance that our local goats inhibit, but also it's going to be them being able to live well in the environment where we stay. So when you do get new goats, what do you need to do? First, you need to isolate them. Like if you have been following our videos, you will realize that we do have a raised goat house at the other side, but we have decided to keep these ones here on the floor. That is because we need to actually treat them. And guys, I'm going to be showing you the important medicines that you need to keep for your goats. Of course, if you keep rabbits, the same medicines are going to be able to work for you, because that is what we do. We use those medicines on the goats. We also use it on the rabbits. So if you've been following us regarding rabbits, these same medicines will also be able to work for you with your goats. Of course, the very first thing, and this is only goat specific. Now this one you're going to be spraying whenever you get your new goats. You need to spray them. This is what we use for spraying the ticks. And like you can see, this says for control ticks and manage mites and lice on cattle, but this is also be able to work with goats. This is what we have. That is for ticks. The other is going to be multivitamin. If you have young goats, like these, and the other ones which we have just received, you should be able to give them a multivitamin at least every after 2 weeks until they have actually built immunity and they are actually growing out well. Of course, like guys, if you see, the body structure of this goat is not that good, but we are going to give it proper feeds and it should be able to grow out well. So the multivitamin which we use is this type here. This is the multivitamin that we have access to. They come in a whole different forms, so you should be able to get something that is available where you live. But this is the composition, like you can see it. It has a wide range of multivitamins that are very important for your goats. The other guys is going to be your deworming. This is intermectin. This actually is very good for fighting any skin diseases and worms. So this is what we use for deworming our goats. And guys, it is important that whenever you get goats to your farm, you should be able to actually deworm them, and especially the young ones. These young ones, you should actually be able to deworm them basically maybe every after 3 weeks until you see that they have built immunity and they are able to fight some of the diseases. That's when you actually get to stop that. So guys, another important one that you must have is going to be your treatment for respiratory disease. Most of these animals will come when they have respiratory issues. So this is what we use for managing respiratory issues. Of course, the active ingredient in here is going to be tylosin. So if you have something, it may not necessarily be this brand, but you have a respiratory disease treatment or medicine that has an active ingredient as tylosin, that is going to be good for your goats. Of course, guys, this also works wonders with rabbits. This is what we have been using on our rabbits, and we are able actually to be able to fix any respiratory issues. So we realized that actually these goats, when you check them around their noses and mouth, you see that they're having some form of flu. So we will be giving them shots of this. And guys, if you have issues with your goats, you should be able to get to reach out to a vet to be able to assist you with that problem. But that doesn't stop you from having these medicines on your farm, so that when the vet comes, he's able to use your own medicines to treat your animals, and that is going to lower your cost of medicine. Now you see the bottle of medicine like this is going to be able to cost you maybe about maximum of about $7 US. But if a vet comes to your farm, he might charge you the same cost for just one shot of this medicine. So it's quite important that you buy these medicines and then call the vet to your farm to be able to administer these medicines to your animals. That way you're going to be saving some money. Otherwise, you're just going to be spending on a single shot or maybe 2 shots the amount that can actually buy a full bottle that you can use for several months. So whenever we get a new stock of goats, what we do first is to first spray them, of course, to take care of the ticks. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Then we will be giving them some remedies for the flu and cough, because that's what is visible now. Then we will continue to monitor them for maybe about a week or 2 before we can introduce them to the rest of the goats.